Mrs. Orso?
Here.
Mrs. Dugas? Here. Mr. President, you have a quorum?
Thank you, sir. The agenda will be followed as presented. Oh, precious Lord, we thank you for this peaceful assembly to do the work for which we were called to do. We thank you, dear Lord, for all the blessings that thou hast bestowed upon us and all the continued blessings for our school system. Give us the wisdom and understanding to make decisions that will positively impact our students and our employees. Oh, precious Father, we humbly ask that you continue to shield us with your loving arms of protection from the wrath of all the danger and challenges that faces us when it comes to educating our loved ones. These and all the blessings we ask in this holy name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Uso, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Next on the consent agenda, we have to adopt a resolution for the sympathy of Mr. Alfred Alpage. That the superintendent have that resolution at hand.
Thank you, Mr. President. Resolution reads as such. Whereas we, the members of Assumption Parish School Board, have learned of the untimely death of Mr. Alfred Alfridge, an outstanding employee and citizen of Assumption Parish. And whereas his devotion and loyalty, he had come to be recognized as a most valuable asset to the Assumption Parish family of public educators. And whereas Mr. Alfridge served Assumption Parish School Board for 43 years. And whereas his life was a record of service and devotion to children, community, and family, his loss will be shared by all who cherish the education of the young, especially the young of Assumption Parish. Now therefore be resolved that the Assumption Parish School Board deeply regrets the untimely loss of a true friend and servant to public education and offers his family our deepest sympathy in their time of grief. Be it further resolved that a copy of this expression of sympathy is presented to the family with our deepest condolences.
I have to agree with that, Mr. Robinson. Alfred wasn't only a bus driver, he was a mechanic. He had his route on top of being a mechanic. He delivered lunch. He was there early in the morning. We never had to worry about having a bus. It was ready.
Thank you all for those comments.
He always did his job with a smile on his face. He was always a very friendly man to everybody.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda. Motion by Mr. Robinson.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hood. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, motion carried. Next, under reports recognition, receive administrative personnel report. Each of us have a copy of that in our file. Here that you read it. Next, receive information on school performance score and district performance scores.
It's that time of year again. And everybody's been anxiously awaiting the scores to come in. And they're here, so what you need to do is look for this copy. Color chart. Okay, and I'm just kind of explain what you see here. On, this is the district and school performance scores and letter grades. On the left side, you'll see the state of Louisiana has a row. Assumption Parish has a district as a row, and then all of our schools each have their own row. So, and on these rows, you will see. Thank you. In the 2022 letter grade is the new letter grade for the scoring of our test from last school year, okay? And you can see our DPS score, which is a number score. Next year, you also see the 2021 simulated DPS. If you remember last year, when I came, the state had given us what they called a simulated score. And because of COVID and so many things that were happening in our schools with kids in and out with illness, and we were trying to get kids back in from virtual school, it was a kind of a rough year for us, again, after COVID had hit. And the school did, the state did some simulation on our scores to kind of help there. And you will notice there's no 2020 scores, and that's because that was the year we left in March because COVID had struck. So our kids did not test and we had no scores. So the last normal year was the 2019 year, and you do see that given here too. So you can see, look at some comparison. As a state, if you look from 2019 to now, the state is pretty much, the average has stayed the same. But you'll notice that our district has stayed above the state average in both cases. Assumption High School is a B school at 88.8 this year. Belrose Middle School is a D school, 52.8. Belrose Primary School is a C school, 67.4. Libertyville Middle School is a D school at 53. Libertyville Primary School is a C school, 67.7. Napoleonville Middle, a B school at 79.2. Napoleonville Primary School is a C school, 63.3. Pierreport Elementary is a B school, 79.2. And Bayou Lewis, a C school at 67.4. If you look at those numbers, you'll see it looks like some little bump ups and downs is what's happened kind of this year for the most case. Mr. Super, would you like to say,
Yeah.
have a word?
So as far as overall scores, first of all, I want to say I really appreciate all of the hard work the teachers, the principals, administrators have done throughout the year. I'm in classes, in meetings with our staff this year, and it's a lot. We're making a huge focus this year on looking at student work. But as it relates to test scores, I just really want to congratulate. We have some highlights, so I want to share those highlights with our board and our community. My first highlight is we want to recognize Bayou Lewis Primary School. They are, and that's in your packet. I think there's a page in there. Excelling schools. They were recognized for being in the top 10% for performance. Yeah. Recognized for being in the top 10% in performance among students with disabilities, English learners, or economically disadvantaged students. So we definitely want to recognize and highlight Bayou Lewis Primary. No.
It's this one right here.
Miss. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, they received the top gains honors. And what that means is that their progress index, which is the score they receive for, they look at every child in the school, And they look to see, did little Johnny, how did he do from last year to this year? It's, what I love to, as a teacher, I love to say, it was looking at apples to apples. You know, you're looking really to see what, if each child grew. And so that's, they received like a letter grade A when they looked at how their students grew. And they also did not earn any urgent intervention required labels that could be placed on their students, like of disability, or their ESL students, or the students in those special groups that sometimes score really low. Those kids were not, there was no reason, the state felt like there's no reason to have some urgent intervention to help those kids in their school. So because of that, that was the case for them, they received this award, along with 391 other honors in the state.
Also, we want to highlight Napoleonville Middle School. Ms. Cathy and her team, those teachers, that community, those students, they showed growth for 3 consecutive years. So if you think about the pandemic, you think about all the things that we've experienced over the last several years, Napoleonville Middle School continuously grew throughout all of the challenges we've had. So I want to definitely highlight that school. Labradorville Middle School grew 2 points. I know we've had some challenges in Labradorville over the years, but we're very proud to announce from the simulated scores to now, Labradorville Middle School grew 2 points. Also, from a district standpoint, for the first time since 2017, we do not have any F schools in our parish. And that's great news. I definitely, yeah, for the first time since 2017. And I want to definitely commend the hard work our teachers, our staff, and everyone did, because that's a huge accomplishment. No F schools in the parish since 2017. And my best announcement, and I believe the community really deserved this, and I want them to celebrate, I want them to enjoy this moment. Belrose Primary School in Assumption Parish is the top school improvement, SPS, school performance score improvement in the entire state of Louisiana. So I could not be prouder of that community, those kids are doing a phenomenal job. So if you think about all the schools in the state of Louisiana, they're #1. So I definitely want to congratulate that community, those kids, for doing an outstanding job, and I want to say it's well deserved, and just very proud that they're able to receive this accomplishment. So that concludes my report with the highlights. Mr. President, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Mr.
Questions?
You know, Dr., when you put together the committee, you know, for the Strong Start program that you put together, you and the committee, I stopped and I looked back over the last couple of years, and then we were talking about facing COVID. You know, that was a pretty challenging time for all of us, particularly when you're talking about a school at the Belrose area that's economically disadvantaged, as they are. To meet all those challenges, you know, to keep the community together, and you reached out to all stakeholders, you know, students, teachers, community leaders, and they all shared their input on what it takes to bring this school up to par. And it was indicative of everybody listening, because early this year, you know, Louisiana Department of Education ranked your strategic plan of all the schools in the state of Louisiana, what? #1. And that showed here today with these numbers. So again, thank you and your committee and the community of Belrose for being so patient and stuff like that, you know. So again, this is commended by all of us, particularly you and your staff, you know, and I gathered, I knew it was going to be rough, it was going to be hard, but you know, the people that I saw that you had put together, you know, it was a lot of hard work, and for a lot of your people in your central office who had to put aside their regular duties to go up there in the schools and help out during the challenging time, that was commendable on their part. So again, thank you and your staff, and also to the faculty and staff of the Belrose community up there right now. Congratulations to all of you.
Yes, sir.
No questions? We're good?
No, he's good. Thank you very much.
Superintendent, I would hope that when we have these celebrations at the school, especially Belrose Primary, that Ms. Joseph be included, since it was under her administration that we went from a F school to a C school. So I would hope that she's included under administration for, at these celebrations.
Yeah, it is something to
Yes.
shout about, that's for
Yes.
sure.
And we gotta bring in the fifth graders too, because remember,
Yep, I
the
see
third
that.
and, the fourth graders are in fifth grade at the middle school now, so
Yeah.
we need to bring them back and be a part, you know what, the whole community, because this is the community. This is not about me, not about it, it's about the community getting what they really, really wanted, you know, so very, very proud, so.
Yeah,
Good job, Doctor.
that's all that was involved.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank everyone for the input. Under policy and procedure, receive information on revision to Form 12, classroom teacher job description. Anyone have that?
This is just for information, Mr. President, Mr. Clearmore had an emergency tonight, but he'll definitely be back next month to finalize the report, on this and actually answer any questions you might have.
Okay, again, all right, thank you.
Just for
Paragraph B,
information.
receive information on policy IDDFC, cameras in special education classrooms.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, ma'am, how you
Good
doing?
evening.
You guys received a copy through the agenda, correct? Any questions on the proposed policy or procedures?
So we have to have those policies in place by the end of this year, I understand,
By December 31st.
December, and then we have to forward one to the Department of Education by next year.
January 15th.
next year. Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Mr. President, it's for information purposes only, because I
Yeah, right.
definitely would like the board to review. And if there's any
Yeah.
questions, Ms. Mara will actually be on the agenda for the next board meeting for approval. So we definitely make sure that we take any questions or any comments at that time as well.
Right, okay, that'll work. Good.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Under budget, authorize the superintendent to accept the lowest bid for a lawn care service. Need a motion? Oh, got a motion by Ms. Barra, second by Mr. Washington. We have a question, so we have a comment card right here. Let me take the comment card for you, Josh. So, please step forward, sir, with your comment. And state your name and your address for the media purposes, please.
This is on. My name is Joshua Abair, a resident of Ward 5 at 410 Franklin Street in Napoleonville. I'm also a father of 3 boys, 2 go to Napoleonville Primary School. I had a question about the process for bidding, because I looked at the information on the agenda and the bid sheet only had one bid on it. I believe our policy is to have 3 bids before we accept the contract. I just want to clarify that, make sure that if we awarded it already, that's why there's 1 on the sheet, or if there should be at least 3 bids on that sheet before we award a contract.
Mr. President, I can speak with Mr. Abear about this, just a comment section.
Yes,
Just
yes.
comment, note, I'll review it, and then I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Okay. Josh, please.
This may also help with this comment. We did not receive 3 bids. We attempted to receive 3 bids. We went out to public bid. So once we do that, we only received 1 bid. So being as there was only 1 bidder, the contract, the bid amount was $110,250. And it was the same company that's cutting out Glowing Now as TPM. So we did only receive that 1 bid.
Okay.
But we did do the public bid process.
What's the increase in the price?
I think last year was around 98,000.
Minus, yeah.
So now we had 110, it's just labor and fuel costs.
Well, few, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
How you feel? I mean, normally we get 3, 4,
I mean,
5 bids.
we've had bids go out, public bid before. I think Joseph had a bid recently. It happens. I mean, it's hard to get people to come in and bid on projects. You have to go out and attempt to get 3 bids. If no one wants to bid, you can't force anyone to bid or stop the project.
Right. I just, it's strange because usually it's a hot item.
Yeah, we usually have at least.
I mean, right now, it's tough getting contractors or anyone to bid on anything.
That's
Mr.
just
Bees noticed that recently. Joseph had a project, we got 1 bid on. I mean,
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we going out for a project right now. This is our 3rd time going out because no one bid on it. I mean, it's it's a struggle right now.
right.
Are we okay with this service, with the lawn
Yes,
service?
he's doing a great job. I hadn't had many complaints. I mean, even with the rain we had during the summer, he did a great job. He caught everything up.
Okay.
Everybody was satisfied. We now have a rating sheet, and I mean, everybody's rating them 9s and 10s, so not many complaints at
Okay,
all.
well, that's good.
As far as lawn care services, does this include just basically like the grass cutting, stuff like that? Or does it include like tree trimming, stuff like that? That would be
It
separate,
is
correct?
basically grass cutting
no-
and just cutting grass and weed eating. Not much more than that. Anything else, we contracted out.
All right.
All right?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, motion carried. Next, receive information on district-wide salary study proposal.
Thank you, Mr. President. This request was made by Mrs. Dugas last board meeting. So I just wanted to, I seeked out professional services to do a salary comparison. And if you turn, let's see what page it's on, but it's in your packet. They would like to charge us $28,000 to do a salary comparison, and that is certified as well as non-certified employees. So, and they will compare our salary schedule to our surrounding area, and then also kind of like an average in the state, so.
We've always done that, and we've never had to pay to compare salaries with other parishes.
Well, I think in years past, I think Ms. Randall office has also assisted us in doing stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, so this is a professional service, just, and I'm not saying yeah or nay, I'm just presenting it, and just for us, we didn't want our department to create something and it's not an actual, because we're not in that business of doing comparisons studies. So we want to make sure we find someone that actually do this for a living. This is what they do. They're skilled in doing this. I definitely want to make sure at least I provide that information to the board, that if we would do one, this is what it would cost professionally.
In the past, we've received information like where's our rating in the state level of what we're paying compared to other parishes, and we haven't had that either in a while. We've always had information on salary
Okay.
based around us and statewide.
Okay. I understand.
Have we
I
checked
thought we
with?
did. Shannon, you could tell us about the parishes, how much we paying the first-year teachers compared to other teachers in the surrounding parishes, the tri-area, if anything. I thought we knew this.
Yeah.
This was public notice, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We've had this done.
Okay, well, that's good. So, Dr. B, that information that was submitted to us from Lean Frog?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, yeah. All right.
And we don't, I mean, this is just a professional service.
Right.
Now, if we just want to, select certain things and say, hey, we would like our office to do that, that's not a problem. What I'm saying is, I just went out to get the professional services that normally does it professionally. That's
Well,
all.
we've never did that before. We've always had information given to us from other parishes. We just always called, or whatever we did, we always had the information compared. When we do different things, we've always called our neighboring parishes to see what they're doing in their parish or how they're handling different things. We've always done that.
That's not a problem. We could do that. I just want to make sure that professional service, because we're not in
I'm not
that.
interested in paying $28,000.
No.
Information on somebody else's salaries.
Correct.
Thank you. Anyway.
All right,
I think you're just doing what you asked, Ms. Dodd.
all right, sounds good. Next, receive October 2022 sale and use tax report. Ms. Randall?
Good evening. For the month of October, we processed a total of 2,492 returns. The total receipt was $1,274,635.49. That was an 18% increase. The school board received $634,048.52. The 92 bond fund received $126,809.94. The delinquent rate for the month was 7%. There was no audit revenues, and the auto sales was $215,793.73.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
Anya.
ma'am.
Thank you for your report. Next, receive information on October 1, 2022 MFP Minimum Foundation Program Student Account.
Okay, so find the next pretty chart that you have. Okay, and it's the same chart I give to y'all, I think each time I see you, and I just keep adding to it the new MFP count. And, because I keep looking at those numbers. Okay, so when you find the chart, the very last column at the top of the chart that says October 1st, 2022, you can see that the student count this year for the district is at 2716. And on the side of that, to the right, I've just given you a count of how many less students or more students from last October 1st, which was a year ago. So you can see which school, and I was really happy to see the two Libertyville schools grew, because normally what's been happening is just our Napoleonville schools kind of stay steady, and the Bayou Lewis schools stay steady, and the rest were losing. But I'm seeing it's a little change in things, and I wish we weren't losing students, but it's not losing, I need to quit saying the word losing. We have less students. You know, it doesn't mean we're losing them. We have kids graduating, and the groups coming in may not be as big. It's for a lot of different reasons. Kids are very mobile today. They're in and out. We have a lot of in and out. Going to this charter school, and then coming back, and just back and forth. But anyway, the drop is 83 students, 83 in count. And you'll see, that's where we are. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am. And,
So in 11 years, we've lost 483 students. 483 altogether.
So, right. So,
Since
be
2017.
mindful that, this count right here for October 1st this year is only preliminary. The count that we're going to get in February of next year, it was determined our dollars that received through the MFP Foundation on a per pupil basis. So that's the one that based on what amount we're going to be paid for next year, stuff like that. So this is only a preliminary count right now. Hopefully these numbers may go down by February next year. Thank you. Next, facilities and ground receive update on two-story building renovation at Assumption High School.
Yes, we met with the maintenance supervisor and superintendent last week. Currently, our mechanical engineer is finishing up with the air condition drawings. We wanted to have that meeting with them first because air condition cost right now has gone out of sight. So we were looking at some different options to help bring that cost down and bring it back within a reasonable budget. As it stands right now, what we're going to do is bid out the project with an alternate plan. That way we have two options in front of us. One is a little bit, one we're anticipating maybe a little bit cost savings, so we want to put it in as an alternate so that we have the option to take it out or put it back in. But as it stands right now, we're looking to go out to bids a little bit before the beginning, a little bit before mid-December, planning to receive those bids on January 12th. That way you can act on them right after the first of the year, should they be in a reasonable cost.
Okay, good. All right, thank you for that information. Next, receive update on the Libertyville Primary School roof replacement project.
Okay, I know all the roofing projects are listed separately. They are B through F. All of those are the idle roof replacements. So material will be delivered tomorrow and Friday. Work will begin on the 19th, and they should all be completed by the 27th. So all this should be done while there's no kids or staff on campus. So hopefully we'll get back from Thanksgiving, we got new rules on all our buildings,
Okay.
if everything goes as planned and weather permitting.
Okay, Napoleonville Primary School roof replacement.
It's the same project, it's all under IDA.
Could you give us, the reason why I wanted to, what buildings roofs are being replaced on? That's why I wanted to get an update on each. Do you remember each individual building?
Napoleon, let's see, Libertyville Primary is gonna be, the library building. We're gonna, do the roof on that building. So that's gonna be a complete roof replacement. Napoleonville Primary will be the main A building.
All right,
Libertyville Middle will be the remainder of the A building. We did the gym last year, if y'all remember.
Okay.
It's gonna be the science lab and the B building.
Mhm.
Belrose Middle will be the B building on the north end of the school. Assumption High will be the teacher's lounge and the weight room.
Okay. All right.
It's one project, it's one contractor, and, we gotta give y'all those bid amounts before. It's $375,724 for all roofs. We anticipating to have it all done, I mean, weather permitting, you know what I mean, so, but he said he's gonna come out with multiple crews at each school. I sent a, breakdown of where he's gonna be at each site to each principal, so we can have all those areas cleared and ready to go, but like I said, no one will be there, so it should go pretty smoothly.
So that's what I was asking. He have different crews.
Yeah.
Right,
going to
yes,
each
yes.
school. Okay, okay.
And when is the material being delivered?
The materials were supposed to be delivered today, but there was a holdup on the truck, so they're gonna get back out tomorrow and start, bringing all the materials in tomorrow and Friday. So Saturday, they're gonna start work Saturday morning. And they're gonna work every day but Thanksgiving Day to get it complete.
Do you have any idea how many roofs we have left that needs to be taken care of?
All the other ones. No, not, I said all the other ones. We have a lot of roofs that were replaced. We have a lot of roofs that still need replaced. To give you that exact amount of roofs, I can't right now. I know there's 2 more at the high school currently needing replacement. I mean, I can put it together and present it to you.
I was just wondering if you had any idea. about
No,
it.
not right off now, I don't.
Thank you.
The one, you saying the theater house, the one by the track, that's not.
Well, it's the one by the track is the weight room now. Correct.
Okay. Next, I receive update on the outdoor improvement project at the Bar Lewis Primary School.
Yes, for the outside projects, Bayou Lewis Primary, Labradorville Primary, Napoleonville Primary, we actually completed the purchase order for those. We also met with the principals. The principals picked out their color scheme. That information has been submitted to the contractor, so the materials can be ordered. So that information now, and I'll follow up with the contractor. Right now, we've done everything that we needed to do on our end to get as much information to the contractor that as they requested, and then now we're waiting on the materials to be ordered and then to be delivered.
Okay, that's same thing for Labradorville and Napoleonville Primary.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and also for the Pierpont Elementary, update, outdoor improvement project at the Pierpont Elementary, that's the same thing for them too? Joseph?
That one, if you recall, we're having a canopy that's being added on to the end of Building E, if I'm saying the right designation there.
Okay.
Those slabs have all been formed and are ready to be poured, and the materials have been ordered. So we're still waiting on the goals for the basketball court, as well as we have benches and tables and everything that's going to be incorporated in that. That's all been ordered. We're waiting on those materials to come in so that we can finish those projects out.
Joseph, that's already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our slab is poured
The
and
slab
our
is poured,
goals are
yes,
up.
yes. We're waiting on the rest of the equipment to come in.
Because I know that the tables and stuff are already in also.
Some of them are, yeah, they had some that they had ordered previously.
Okay,
They're
okay.
in, but there's some more to come.
Well, some of the teachers sent us pictures to
And I
share
saw
with
it
us.
Yeah.
today. I went out there today.
No, the foundation, everything's in. We're waiting on the canopy
Okay,
to come in. So that's part of the materials.
thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Joseph. So, update on the improvement, project at the Belrose Middle, that whole same thing for them too, Joseph?
Yes.
The Belrose Middle?
They're the same status. That slab has been poured. There again, we're waiting on the goals and the roofing materials to come in.
Okay,
Thank
and
you,
what
sir.
about the restroom renovation project at the Belrose Middle School?
Restroom renovation project, we completed some changes to those plans. If you recall, we've gone out to bids, and we were not successful with a price there. We are rebidding that project as a unit price bid.
Right,
Those plans are finished, specs are ready, and it will be advertised next week.
okay, good.
Yeah, we need to get moving on that project, yeah.
Yeah, I was sent pictures of the bathroom, and I just don't think it's in good working order for those
No.
boys to be in.
No,
It's
ma'am.
a dangerous
And-
situation.
No, ma'am, and the way we've itemized it is so that we can at least move forward with getting it to, regardless of the price that comes in,
Correct.
we can at least move forward with something within the budget to get it to a functional standpoint.
Absolutely.
We're in bad shape, we need to get in there.
Thank you, Joseph. Next paragraph, N, authorize the superintendent to acquire lighting design for a baseball field at Assumption High School. Need a motion? Do we have a comment card? Step forward, sir.
Joshua Abear again. I just had a comment on the process for taking an action on this item to spend money for design, like an item in the last meeting that was approved. Before approval, someone from the public like myself would like more than a vague description of what we're going to do on this. And I hope to get that tonight on this item, like we didn't get last meeting, with a clear scope of work, input from athletic director, coaches, principals, people that'll be involved in the project. So I hope that we get that tonight rather than a blanket approval of spending money without a scope of work or input from anybody or any information from the board that tells us how the money's going to be spent, rather than just saying, you can spend this money, we don't know how much it's going to be because we haven't retained a firm, we don't know the percentage they're going to charge us to do that. So I hope I get that information tonight on these two items. I think these things need to be done for sure, and I hope we get more information before an action is approved to spend funds blanketly, basically.
Thank you, sir. Again, so authorize the superintendent to acquire lighting design for a baseball field at Assumption High School. Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Uso, second by Ms. Dodd. Questions or comments?
So that is the purpose of going out and get the design. So this is just a designing phase. This is not saying that we're gonna vote on actually going out for bid. Once I get that information, I'll bring that information back, and then you can see actually the scope of work, the specs and everything for the design. And then at that point, you would determine whether or not you would like to go out for bid.
In the past, we had stuff donated, we had material donated for this project. Do you know if that's still available?
I did speak to a couple of the parents, and they are still willing to help and support these projects. Currently, right now, to answer your question, no, there's nothing over there on the field right now that we can use to say that's donated. But I've been in contact with Mr. Landry. I've spoken to Mr. Pipsar tonight as well, and they are definitely willing to do their part as it relates to support this project. But I also want to make it clear that we're going to design this project as we're doing it. We're not waiting, or we're not holding up just because of donations, because I don't want that to be an issue. So even with or without the donations, I still would like to move forward. But I think they're here right now, and they're gonna, they can speak for themselves. But I'm pretty sure that they want to definitely be a part of this process. So definitely we would work along with our community members, and if there's something that can be donated, service, or even materials or supplies, we want to definitely allow that to happen. But if not, we definitely want to still move forward with the project as is.
You see, that's why I feel like on this board is biased, because when we said designing for a football field, nay. But for a baseball field, yay.
It's the same school.
That's different. That's what I'm saying. That's the bias I feel about on this board. I don't understand that. Baseball, yay. And I'm gonna go with it because it's Assumption School and we need to do everything we have to do to this high school. But when it came out of football, question, design. And now it's just cut and dry, yay. But last meeting, when we talked about the football field, what needs to be done at the football field to make it look better, safety with the railings and this and that, everybody had questions, or not, I'm not gonna say everybody, but it was split, yay and nay. Now it's gonna be yay all across the board because that's how it is on this board, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Dispute all you want, I'm tired of it.
When you're talking about the football field, we're talking about quite
What?
a bit more money.
Well, design, okay, football, but what I told you, what I said the last time, what, between football and baseball and everything else, who brings the most money to our school? Football. So we need to spend money on our football. And I'm just for Assumption High. We need to fix up Assumption High anyway it goes. The front of the building need to be fixed up. So anytime something come up with Assumption High, I want to spend money on Assumption High. That's our only high school.
I can speak for myself, it's not a biased thing, and like.
That's my opinion. It's biased.
Okay.
Yes, my opinion.
All right, guys, thank you all.
Well, the
Appreciate
thing that we
time.
brought up was that the light poles and stuff was already donated to the school years ago, and they've been out there for a long time. And it was brought back up that we wanted to do something with the light poles, and you contacted the people that donated the light poles. And that's where we at with it now. I don't see any, big deal between the football and the baseball. I support both of them. I attend the games, I go to both of them.
You didn't at the last meeting. You didn't.
Okay.
Because of the cost.
Well, you didn't. Like I said, bias. My
I can
opinion.
speak for myself.
Your
Thank you,
opinion.
Well,
ma'am.
you could
I
speak.
can speak for
I
myself.
said
Thank
bias.
you.
Yeah, your opinion.
Yes.
I have one
opinion.
too, so thank
Okay,
you.
I have
guys,
a
I thank y'all.
question as to the softball and baseball fields. Are there certain criteria as far as design? Maybe Joseph can answer. Is there something special?
Joseph,
there?
you've worked on this project before, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I can tell you, in the past, we went ahead and put, if you recall when we were doing the sewer plants, at that time, we needed a major upgrade of electrical at the
Electrical,
high
that's right.
school.
Okay.
And at that time, we went ahead and put in the power that we needed to light both fields.
That's right.
Now, that doesn't include the wiring and stuff to those fields. It was just we had to get energy to bring enough power to the school. There was not enough there.
And how many years ago was that?
That was approximately 5 years ago.
So the equipment's sitting there for 5 years.
Well, the electrical,
Electric,
the electrical is there. Now, I can't speak to whatever has been donated. I know that was in discussion, and they were talk of poles and lights and things and so forth being donated. I don't know if that ever came to fruition. And I'm sure whatever design professional you choose, is gonna make use of whatever is donated. When it comes to answer Ms. Barras's question, yes, there are high school lighting guidelines for lighting of baseball fields, softball fields, and so forth. There's so many what they call foot candles that need to be calculated and done for each field. Usually for a high school of this caliber and playing, you want to go somewhere around what they call 30 to 50 foot candles. It's going to require you have what's called a 320-foot baseball field. Typically, that field would require, I would say, somewhere approximately six light poles with, gathered, and again, I'm giving you off the top of my head here, but you're probably looking at 5 to 6 sports lighters per pole, and then you have wiring, and we have to put a control panel. That's, as far as the electrical, that's the only thing that's really missing from lighting the fields would be the controls and the actual controls and light panels, and then the wiring to the lights themselves. Now, when it comes to the softball field, you could get away with probably, and I'm careful with the term "get away with." It's not a matter of that, but it's much smaller. So you can light that field with possibly 2 fewer poles. In other words, instead of 6, going with 4, maybe 5, depending on the wattage of the sports lighters you use. And that's where your design professional, whoever you choose, is going to come in. They will calculate that and come up with the best package for you. And again, if anything is donated, if you get 5 poles donated, then that's that many fewer poles you have to purchase. There's a lot that goes into it, depending on the height of those poles. The higher the pole, obviously, the more area you can light. If you have a lower pole, it may take more of them. But I would seem to believe any design professional that you pick or choose for this, they're going to have to take that into consideration, and they'll be able to calculate that. Just for food for thought, if you were not talking donations, if you were trying to light these fields from scratch, with the switchgear that we have there now, you're probably looking somewhere in the neighborhood of $250,000 to $300,000 for the baseball field, and then somewhere around $150,000 to $200,000 for the softball field.
Okay.
And that, again, that's very vague ballpark estimates, but that's kind of in a nutshell what you're looking at.
Okay, appreciate it, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Hell no.
Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Roll call, Melissa, please.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes?
Mr. Marr?
Yes.
Ms. Barra? No. Ms. Fletcher Nichols? Yes. Mr. Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mrs. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Duval?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Motion carried. Next, authorize the superintendent to acquire lighting design for the softball field at Assumption High School. Need a motion? Motion. This is for the softball
Ms.
field.
Hood.
Got a motion by Ms. Hood,
Second.
second by Ms. Dodd. Questions or comments? I think Joseph kind of gave us some light, insight on it, what it takes to do this job, pretty much the same thing too. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead.
Clear that the reason I vote no is the same reason I voted no for the football field. Because we have kids who are still going to school in classrooms that are mobile homes. And I don't see the sense in that if we're gonna sink $500,000 into a baseball and a softball field or a football field, for that matter. Until our kids are in classrooms like the kids deserve to be in classrooms, I say no.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Melissa?
Mr. Lewis?
Yes?
Mr. Marr? Yes. Mrs. Barra? No. Mrs. Fletcher Nichols? Yes. Mr. Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mrs. Hood?
Yes.
Ms. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Duval?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Motion carries. Next, receive update on architectural services for securing school facilities.
Thank you, Mr. President. I met with an engineer, the planners group, as well as the architect. Really, this project will be over multiple years, because what we're looking at is securing all of our facilities, as well as building single-point entries into our facilities. It's going to be pricey, but I think, we definitely need to spend our funds to improving our facilities, and this is something where you can do both, in my opinion. You can improve your athletic facilities. Also, during this process, you can improve your schools as well. So, and as of right now, there's some other schools that were designed with single-point entries that the architect, that the engineer asked me to go take a look at. Also, we're going to have to sit with each individual principal and talk about entry points, talk about how we're going to connect all of our buildings. One thing that the engineer said, we can do an outside kind of like fence around the entire facility, or we could try to connect buildings together. Obviously, that would be the pleasure of the board, but definitely this project is a multi-year, very expensive project. But when we're looking at securing our facilities and creating those single entry points, and keeping our kids and our employees safe, I think you can't really put a price tag on that. So, but as of right now, we're just in the communication stages. I just wanted to give the board an update. I did meet with the architect, the engineer, and the next steps is talking to principals and also going out to other schools where they actually have these single entry points into the facilities.
Thank you on that. So, a couple weeks ago, about maybe a week ago, myself and a few board members, we visited the high school and watched them, the faculty and staff, how they, scan the kids when they was coming in there. And you have two groups coming in where the kids park on the parking lot, how they come in from a different angle as compared to those coming in on the buses. And I can see where that's going to be a challenge there. So I'm sure y'all gonna work it out.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. Okay, next, authorize the superintendent to move forward with the project engineer's bid recommendation for a task order known as restroom renovation at Pierpont Elementary School. 1, acceptance of low bid 4A contracting group for the original bid amount. 2, approve a deductive change order to remove unit price. 3, girls locker room. 4, boys locker room. 5, men and women locker room, restroom. 6, girls and boys outdoor restroom, and the related general condition costs. Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Dot,
Second.
second by Ms. Uso. Questions and comments?
All right, these bathrooms came back, we did receive 3 bids, by the way. These bathrooms came back at $274,300, which was way above our budget. So when we bid the project, we did unit pricing. That's what the deductive change orders are for.
Okay.
So we couldn't afford to do all the restrooms. We wanted to see what the cost would be. So I chose the bathrooms inside of the middle school, the boys and girls restrooms inside of the middle school. The other bathrooms that's being taken out, I took them out because I think maybe in time, maintenance could do it, or we could do it in-house as smaller projects, so they're smaller restrooms. So these restrooms are the 2 larger restrooms, and I think it's our biggest bang for our buck. It's $115,300 to do these bathrooms.
Okay.
We're gonna go all touchless, new toilets, sinks, urinals, petitions, floors, paint, the whole 9 yards.
And Mr. Jack, Ms. Bambi, I know you spoke on the last project. We will do the same thing in Bell Road. So we're gonna bid the contract out this way. That way we can actually identify which restrooms we wanna renovate, and then we could use, we can go ahead on and bring that information forward.
That way
for
you
us
don't have to
vote
go
on.
back out to bid because they're all unit priced.
Yep.
Okay.
We didn't do it before. It's just, this is a better way of making sure that we itemize the project.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Before we proceed in the executive session, there's any comments, announcement from the Board or Administration? So I have one. As most of you are aware, we only have one meeting next month. So I think the last meeting, we only have December 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So to that point, I think, Mr. Superintendent, we'll probably have to have board elections at the next meeting, which
Yes,
is
sir.
December the 7th. Okay?
And I just wanna make,
Put that in front of you, huh?
no, go ahead, Mr. President.
No, that's all I have.
And I just want to say, I attended a Veterans Day program at Bell Rose Primary, and I was very, very pleased. Good community turnout. Principal, school did a phenomenal job, and had an opportunity to really sit and talk with our veterans. So very appreciative of those who serve our country. So I just want to make that announcement.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I was there in attendance too, and it was, the faculty and staff really did an excellent job with the kids up there. And again, we thank all our men and women who serve in the U.S. Armed Services, both foreign and abroad. Thank you for each and all of them.
I do think each school had a very good program.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
Mr. B, can you tell us how the school board office is going to be working next week,
We're working Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
12-month employees. 12-month employees. So it's not just
Okay.
school board office.
And is there a reason why they weren't working on election day?
All employees were off because of election day on the calendars.
Okay, some of our
And
facilities.
that's on a calendar?
Yes, ma'am. And our facilities were being
Facilities are
used.
used for election purposes.
It was,
Our schools are, but
Yeah.
school board office isn't.
yeah, it was put in the calendar as one of the days
Yeah.
for 12-month employees.
Ms. Donnery,
Yes.
we can't have, I don't think we can have, elections on the 7th if we have the runoff for election on the 10th. It's affecting some of our school board members. We always have. No, but I'm saying,
That's why.
yes, but elections are on the 10th, the runoff, yes. Yes. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to have to do it in January.
Okay, well, we could discuss after we come
Yeah.
out of executive session.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Council said we can do a special meeting after the election,
Okay,
Yeah,
if that's
Yeah.
what, if that's what we choose to do.
yeah.
we just, good. Okay, executive session, enter into executive session pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 14:17, paragraph A2, to discuss the status and strategy concerning litigation entitled Braxton Evans LeBlanc versus Assumption Parish School Board, 23rd Judicial District Court Division A, docket number 38221. Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Robinson, second by Ms. Hood, all in